So, I've been thinking about this for the past couple of weeks and I don't really have a solid answer to it, but I kind of wanted to make a video about it anyways, ironically enough. If you look in my projects folder, you'd see that I have about 10 to 15 unfinished projects. Things where I've filmed everything and I've edited about like up to 90%. Some of them are even done, I think, but none of them will ever come up on my channel because I'm just not happy with them. And it's not like I don't really put any effort into it, you know, like I filmed the whole video and I edited and tried to make it as fun or whatever as possible. Like it's not like I just randomly turn on the camera. I do kind of have a plan, even if I don't know exactly what I'm going to say. But there's just something about it that when I look at it, I just can't bring myself to upload it. And I think there's a couple reasons for this. I wanted to talk about 3 of them today. Because I think they're probably pretty relatable struggles, to be honest. I don't think I'm the only one who's in this position at all. So I wanted to talk about them. Number 1, it's not good enough. The problem with having been on this platform for about 10 years as a viewer is the fact that the kind of content that we watch and the standards for starting out is getting like higher and higher, and you kind of just have to ignore that, but I don't really know how to do that. Since I consume this like super curated content every single day, my expectations for what a video should be like is extremely high inside my head. And the kind of videos that and people that inspire me are, you know, people that have actually done it for at least like a little while or have some kind of practice. And it's not really fair to hold myself to those standards, but I don't really think about that when I edit. I just look at it and I think this is not what I want it to be. And of course I know that no one is really good at the first try, but also I think it's a very conflicting mindset I have because, you know, like it's not like I've ever consistently made videos, but I have made videos on and off for like years. Like I've never been like consistent with it, but like my first video dates back like years and years. And my most recent is like a few months ago or something. So I feel like in my head, there's this illusion that I've been doing this for a long time and that I should be further along than I am. But as I said, it's really unfair to myself because I haven't really been able to do it consistently. Yeah, sorry about the fireworks, it's literally New Year's Eve. I haven't been able to do it consistently because, well, I just never really dedicated myself to it. I never really thought I had time, or I was too insecure, or whatever it was. But because of this, it's spread over different channels and different times, and the only way that you really get better at things is if you consistently do them. And I've never consistently done this. So I'm never really allowing myself to be good at it. So it means that I just keep setting myself up for failure, which isn't great. I mean, it's the same as with any hobby. I don't know why that it is that I expect this to be different. Like if I started writing poems every day for 2 years, and then for 3 years I just stopped writing poems altogether. Of course, if I then started again, I would have to revisit a lot of the things that I knew how to do before. I can finally do that classic line where YouTube said, "My camera died, but I'm back," which is what happened. The second reason that I wanted to go into is the thought of it doesn't matter. And because I've never really been consistent with YouTube, but still have been here and like made a few videos here and there, it does feel like I've been on the platform for so long and that there should be someone alongside me. Like, I'm not saying that that YouTube owes me fame because I've been here for 10 years, but it's just that when you make videos, like, of course I think I would be lying if I said I didn't want anyone to see them. Why else would I put them out there? So since there's no feedback, since there's no one anticipating it, like coming out. Like there is no consequence or like any reaction to uploading or not uploading. It really doesn't matter. And that feeling can definitely really get to me because people aren't like following along. And I'm not saying that like, because of course if I don't make videos, who would follow along? But I'm just saying, I'm trying to put into words why it can be so hard to make videos sometimes. And of course, like, there are some huge negatives to having an audience, especially once it's like a pretty sizable audience, because they come to expect certain things of you and you really just want to do something else. Like, I can totally understand why that would be a struggle, but I also, it keeps me from doing things because a lot of the times, it's just for me personally, the reason why I do things is also often because like there's a consequence if I don't do it, or like I feel like I'm letting people down if I don't do it. And since I don't really have any of those there, it has to be like self-motivated and self-driven. And the third reason is what I'd like to call, what is this? Which is kind of like about the content that I make, because when I see channels or like people that I follow, like a lot of them, they have this kind of like theme, or they have like something in particular that they're good at, that they make videos about, or like a certain interest that really captures people. And that's great. But my brain is what I like to call a ping pong brain. My focus changes really easily. I have a million interests and everything is just going back and forth like super fast. Like there's not really any like concrete thing that I think I am or like can provide for the internet. So like there's just all of these thoughts and they're just going back and forth a million miles an hour. It's like a really anxiety inducing ping pong game. It's not always fun. And of course, like when you have a certain theme like college or fashion or minimalism or whatever it is, those are just some things that I like to watch. It makes it a lot easier for an audience to find you because you have this like thing that you make videos about. And I think that this is a kind of a thing that will come as you make videos, because as you make them, some of the videos that you make will probably resonate more with you than others, or you will see what gets feedback. Like, I mean, I don't want to say it, but of course I'm gonna be affected if I made a video about fashion and it got like super good feedback. I would probably be like, okay, people like this, I would probably make more of this. Like, I don't want to say that people can control what influencers are making, but of course, like, you are affected by opinions. So whenever I make a video, it feels like it doesn't really have any kind of direction. It doesn't really feel like it's going anywhere, and oftentimes there's no conclusion. And it's not that other videos need to have a conclusion necessarily, but it's just that I think it's important to have some kind of idea about what it is that you want to make videos about. So I tried to write down some things that I think I would like to make videos about, like something that I'm interested in, which is BTS. If you can see, there are posters in the background of this video even of them, and I'm LGBT. I know that that's a thing that people generally like have a very strong community feeling about. However, I don't really know exactly what I would make on the topic. Of course, I can talk about how what it's like to be LGBT where I live, because I don't think there's a lot of Danish YouTubers out there. I know they exist, but there's not a lot of them. And I could talk about my shopping ban or minimalism, because I've started to take minimalism really close to heart and it's started to become quite meaningful to me. And then just kind of like reflective essays, sort of like this, but maybe more at that existential kind of level, or spiritual, or like anything like that. It makes it hard for me to just solidify this channel as like one thing, but also I think it's important that I should be open to whatever I want to make videos about. Like, even if there does come an audience along with this whole thing, like, it shouldn't really dictate what I make videos about. But it's hard, right? Because none of my interests are really like that connected. They're all like pretty far from each other, and I feel like some people might subscribe for. I mean, I know this to be true for myself as well. If I subscribe to someone whose fashion videos I'm interested in, I'm not necessarily interested in their food videos. Like, and if they post more of the stuff that I'm not interested in, I might not keep following them, you know? So it's, I don't know. I think it's hard to navigate YouTube these days. But I kind of just wanted to express some of those things and say Happy New Year. I kind of want to make a video about resolutions, so maybe that will be up tomorrow or the day after. For the first time in my life, I'm not doing anything for New Year's Eve, and I'm kind of fine with it. Kind of. Like, let's be honest, I'm a little pissed that I'm not doing anything, but it's fine. That's it from me. Goodbye, lads.